Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I am doing well. Okay, so we are now working on the pages and we're going to start with page 1 for our Nursery Rhyme Baby Book. That's what I named it, Nursery Rhyme Baby Book. So again, here's the covers, and I was thinking last night that we totally could have wrapped the manila color on the cover if we wanted to, instead of doing the 9 inches. So that's another option if you don't want any of the border to show. So just to keep that in your thoughts. So, but I think it's cute either way. So I'm going to just put this to the side because we're not going to need it for a while. So I've already cut out all my papers that I'm going to need for this page to save us some time. And again, I'm going to have all the measurements in the description, so don't fear about that. They'll be in there for you to follow along if you want to. Okay, so the first thing we need is the page is going to have a base, and then it's going to have a pocket base on the back side of it. So the first thing that I cut out is the base, and the base is 8.5 by 8.5. Okay, and then our pocket is a little bit bigger, and it is 8.5 by 9.5 because we want to score at 1/2 inch. So let us do that right now. We're only going to score two places because we want it to be kind of like a tube, so that we can put it on the hinge, and also to put an insert inside it. So I'm just scoring at the 1/2 inch mark here, and I'm going to go ahead and just score that, burnish it down. And now it should fit on our base page pretty nicely, and it does. Uh-oh, there we go. Alright, so, well, what has happened? Did I have it the wrong way? You know what? I don't think I cut it 9.5. I didn't. I cut it at 9 1/4. That's my bad. Let me go cut another one of these. Okay. Sorry about that. It's kind of early for me. Alright, so again, I'm just scoring at the 1/2 inch mark. And now this should work. So it needs to be 9.5 by 8.5 inches. Okay. Now it will fit on there. Yes, there we go. So as you can see, it's going to have an opening here and an opening here. This is what's going to go on the hinge, and then you'll have an insert to go inside there. So what I want to do now, though, is I'm going to just move this out of my way. And I'm going to go ahead and ink both of these. And I'm going to cut the notches on here. So I'll notch all of these, and then I'm going to put tape, score tape, along the lines here. Well, here I'll do one side. So we'll put score tape on both of these tabs after we notch them. And then we'll put it together. So I'll be back once I get this side notched, just like I did that, and put tape. And after I get everything inked, I'll be back. Okay, so I've got both of these inked, and now I'm just going to take off the tape. And I'm going to use a little bit of glue stick. Y'all, I've had the worst time with this backing sticking like that. Very odd. Alrighty then. And okay, I got that all over the place. Alright, so I am just going to line this up the best that I can. I'm trying not to get my head in the way. If I do, I apologize in advance. Oh, this is a booger bear. Booger bear, booger bear. Oh, you went crooked. Don't do that. Really? Booger, 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 booger. Okay, there we go. There we are. Nicely done. I'm just going to make sure that that's good. And okay, so we have a choice now. We can either go ahead and put this in our book and then build the page, or we can build the page and then put it on the book. I think I'm going to try to build the page first. I've done it both ways. So it is easier to get it on like this, but then it's hard to build the page when it's in the book, you know. So I'm just going to go ahead and build the page out here. So on our first side that I'm going to do, I'm going to make a landscape pocket. So I've already got it cut out as well. The measurements for it is 9.5 inches by 4 3/8. And of course you can make it as tall as you want, as you know, short as you want, or whatever. It's up to you. So again, I'm just scoring 1/2 inch. On both sides to make my pocket. I'm going to burnish it down. Now I still have that ink on my fingers from doing the seam binding. Next time I know to need to wear gloves with that, but it's okay. It'll wear off eventually. Okay, and now I'm just going to notch the sides. And then I'm going to put tape on both of the tabs, and then I'm going to ink it. And once I do all of that, I will be back. I almost forgot. I'm not going to leave, I'm just going to set that to the side. I'm not going to leave this squared. I am going to use a corner punch. I'm using punches on this book. I'm using a quarter punch, and I also have a border punch. This is by Martha Stewart. Oh, I have no idea who this is from. Paper Studio. So I got this at Hobby Lobby, and I'm pretty sure I got this at Joann's. So I'm going to go ahead and use my corner punch to punch out, and you need to really make sure that you've got these good and burnished so that it can fit into the punch. Because I didn't want it just a square. So I'm going to go ahead and just punch all 4 corners. And now I'm going to ink everything, and I will be back. And I'm using the Coffee Archival ink, in case you're wondering which ink I'm using. Alright, I will be back. Okay, so now we just want to place our pocket onto our page. So we're just going to take our tape off. Oh, but before we do that, let's go ahead and mat this page. And the mat for the base is going to be 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inches. So let me cut out the paper that I want to put on here, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've already inked it, and this is part of my paper line, And because it's digital, it only does 8 inches, but then I can cut it to 8 1/4. So that is why there is a difference in the gap here. But if you're using a 12 by 12, of course, you know, you can cut it to 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. But if you're using digital, you probably will only have an 8-inch wide, so that's fine. You can probably go 8 by 8, or even just use an 8 by 8 cardstock, and you'll just have a 1/4 of an inch border around your paper, around your thing, which was not what I was going for, but that's okay. We're fine. So in the next one, I will probably cut them all 8 by 8. So no biggie. Alright, so now we can put our pocket on. Alright. Very cool, very cool. So now we need to mat the pocket, which is going to be 8 1/4 by 3 3/4. So let me get that cut out. Okay, y'all, I totally forgot to score the bottom thing. I'm like, why is my mat way too big? It's because you forgot to score it, you ding dong. Alright, so I need to score it at 1/2 inch at the bottom. Oh, me. Okay, so I got the pocket made. I made just a new one. There was no way to salvage the other. I couldn't get the corners cut, but it's okay. It's alright. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. It happens. Okay, so now our pocket is back on. Now we have our mat. Which again is from my paper line. Now we just need to ink it. Okay, and now we're just going to use our Fabri-Tac. Or I'm going to use it. I don't know what y'all are going to use. Alright. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay. So now we need to make our insert that goes into the pocket. And again, I've already cut it out. And it is 8 1/4 by 8 3/4. So what in the world? Oh my gosh, y'all. Woo-wee. Let me cut this to 8 3/4. I cut it to 9 3/4. I'm telling y'all, this was earlier today when my headache was really roaring. Hold on, let me cut this to 8 3/4. Glad I double checked that. Okay, so with this, I'm going to be using my border punch. And because this is 8 1/4 wide, double check that. Okay, I'm gonna try to find the center. So the center should be 4 1/8. Yeah. Alright, because I want to just try to line this up the best I can with the center. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be near perfect. And then you just line your little cutouts. This border is a 1/2 inch border. So now we should be able to just use 8 by 8 to mat this. But of course I want to ink the sides. And down here I am going to just ink, oh I forgot to put paper underneath there. That's okay, I'll get it in a second. But I want to like ink this whole bottom part because they will show. And I personally like the look of that than it being just white there. But you know, that's up to you. And so I'm going to do the front and back with the ink. And then when I get done with that, I will be back. Okay, so I'm back. And these are actually the papers that I created. So what I'm planning on doing is on all the inserts, well not on all of them, but the majority of them will have these papers on them for them to fill out this information. In this case, it's about the mom and the dad. And then on the back side, there's going to be a picture of the mother and the father. And this is going to be the insert for the pocket. So I've already inked. I've cut them out. It's 8 by 8. And these will print out. Of course, they have a border on it, but when you cut the border off, it's 8 by 8. So it's perfect for this situation. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac and glue them on. And the card stock that I printed these on were 65 pounds. The card stock for the insert is 110 pound. So alright, so we get this on there, and then this is our insert, and then the A side of our page 1 will be completed. Y'all, I just put this on upside down. This goes up. Okay. That's what I like about Fabri-Tac. It does give you a second or two in case you make a goofy. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now this goes in our pocket. Aw, isn't that sweet? That is going to look adorable. Adorable. Okay, so now let's go to the B side, and what I'm going to make is a portrait flip, which I have already cut out, and the measurements for it is 9 inches by 8.5 inches. And we're just going to score, again, 1/2 inch. And we're going to cut our little notches in, and then we'll put tape on it, and on the tab here, and then I'll ink it. And I'm also going to, before I ink it though, I'm going to use, again, my border punch and punch out the border because I do want it to have a border. So I'm going to do all of that, and then I'm going to ink it, and then I will be back. Okay, so I've got this cut out. It is 9 by 8.5, and then the mat, I think I told you wrong, it's 8 1/4 by 7 11/16. But of course this is 8 inch because of the way that the, no, on this one I was able to cut 8 1/4. But if you only have an 8 inch paper, you can still use it. It will just give you a bigger gap on the sides, like in this case, because this is 8 inches by 7 11/16. So it gives you a quarter of an inch on the sides instead of 1/16, or 1/8 rather. Okay, so, and then I've got the mat for this, which is 8.5 by 8.5. I mean 8 1/4. 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. All this will be written down correctly. What's written in the description is right on. But this again is 8 by 8. So it just leaves a bigger border. But what I want to do before I put my mat down is I'm going to put a magnet on this flip, because the flip is going to go this way, right? It's going to go up like this. So I want to go ahead and put a magnet on it, and I've got these magnets, which this is my last pack. I'm trying to find other magnets at Home Depot, but I haven't really gone and looked, so once I do that. Alright, so I just want it like in the middle, like down. About right here. I mean, it's not all important where it clasps. Alright, and then I'm going to use these little washers, and just put tape on them, put tape on it, just put some score tape on it, and use the washers instead of another magnet. If it's not too bulky, if you're not going through a lot of bulk, this works out just fine. And it saves you from using a magnet, which is always a plus. Right, so let's take the backing off of this. So I'm going to go ahead and, I should have probably put this on first. Just going to put it up on the top. Okay. Squish that down. Alright. So there we go. Now we should, I just ink this a little bit more. And I thought I inked this, but I guess I did not. Okay. Alright. So now I want to go ahead and mat all my things. So I'm going to be using Fabri-Tac to mat it, and I will be back when I get them matted. Okay, so I've got it done, and I guess this paper is a little thicker than what I thought, and I mean, it's clicking, but I'm not too happy about that. So I think I'm going to just put a magnet on it. Okay, so I've got that matted, and I got it stuck down. It's working now. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now I want to put a belly band here for the insert to go into, and it is 9 1/4, nope, sorry, 9 1/2 by 2 inches wide. So let me cut, I've already cut it out, so now we need to just score it at 1/2 inch mark. And I'm going to use the corner punch on this to make it round. Okay. Corner punch. There you are. Okay. So we got our corner punches. And now I want to use tape on the tabs. And I'm going to put it on the other tab, and then I'm going to ink this and cut out the mat, which the mat is 8 1/4 by 8 3/4. So let me ink it, cut out the mat, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got this, my mat, and now I'm just going to punch the corners in it and ink it, and then put it down with Fabri-Tac, and I will be back. Okay, and now I'm ready to put it in the book. And I want it probably right here is good. Alright, and now I want to make the insert that goes in here. And the insert for it is 8 1/4 by 8 3/4, because we are going to put the border on it. So all the inserts are pretty much going to be that, just double checking, yep, is going to be that measurement. Alright, just so I can see. So this is 8 1/2, so we need to go 4 1/4. And about right there. I'm going to punch these out and then ink it, and then I will be back. Okay, so now I've got that inked, punched out, and then I have the mats inked and punched out. And again, this is from the book line, sharing the news. And then on the back side, we're going to put like how the mother was feeling and everything like that. So again, I've inked them, and I'm just going to take my Fabri-Tac and tack them down. This is 8 by 8. That's what the paper line will be, is 8 by 8. Okay, so there we go. Now this is our insert. It goes right here. Alright. Oh, sweet. Uh-oh. Okay, and then we have one more insert to do to go on the inside, or to the side pocket. And again, it's cut 8 1/2, no, 8 1/4 by 8 3/4. Just double checking my cutting here. I was off this morning. Alright, and again, I'm going to use my punch and just punch out the punch, and I will get my, I will ink it, and then I'm going to get my mat cut out, which the mat again is 8 by 8, and it's going to be part of the insert book. So once I get all that cut and inked, I will be back. Okay, so I've got my mats. This is part of the insert part of the book that comes with the other. It says my first pictures, and you know, you can put your ultrasound pictures there. I think that's sweet. And then this is just the pattern paper from my digital line. And again, doesn't matter which side. One side will be the front, one will be the back. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac to put them both down, and when I get that done, I'll be back. Okay, and then this will go inside. But before we put that in, I'm going to take out all the inserts. And actually, whoopsie, I put this one on wrong. Because it goes in sideways. Alright, there we go. Sorry. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to put this into our binder, into our cover that we did. Alright, so what I want to do is, I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I know I think I'm going to use both score tape and Fabri-Tac. Just because, you know, I don't want it going anywhere. So I'm going to put the score tape on both sides of our first hinge. Right. And then, and I'm using Fabri-Tac because I want it to be a little slick. I'm making sure that I've got it the right way, that this is our first page, not our last. The way I've been going today is one of those weird days again. It is a full moon. That might have a little bit to do with it. I don't know. So I'm going to just put a little amount, not a whole bunch, just a little bead, a little thing there. And do it on both sides. I hope y'all can see. I'm probably not in shot. Not all the way. Here, I will fix that. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so now I'm going to take my page and I want to make sure that I'm putting it in correctly. This is our front side. This is side A, this is side B. So now, forgive me if my head gets in the way, but I have to slip the hinge into the little pocket that we have created. And this sounds easier than it is. I can't get a good angle. And this is why I was saying sometimes it's better to go ahead and put your book on first and then build your page, because I've got all this stuff and it's kind of in the way. There we go. Just have to find the right angle for it. Alright. And then I'm just going to make sure I get it good and down. And same thing over here. I want it good and on there. Okay. So there we go. There's our first page in. Yay! Alright, and so now we can actually put our stuff back in. Our inserts. Okay. This one in here. And then our insert, and it should stick out a little bit like that. Yay, it worked. So there we are, page 1 done. And of course, embellishing will come last, but isn't that cute? So there we go. There is our page 1 in our baby book. Nursery Rhyme Baby Book. That is what I named it. All right, y'all. So please forgive, I promise. I thought I was doing good by pre-cutting things and getting things ready, but I don't know, it might have threw me off a little bit, but we got it done. No problem. Again, all the measurements will be down in the description and they will be correct measurements. So I have them written down and they are correct. So they'll be down in the description if you're interested in making your own book. Again, this paper line, the Nursery Rhyme book inserts, yeah, that's what I'm going to call them. The inserts, they will be on my Etsy store. And the paper line, the digital paper line, is going to be on my Facebook group. I'm going to just go ahead and give that away. So if you're interested in the digital paper, just come to my Facebook group, ask to join, and I'll let you join, and you can download the papers for free. Alright, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you've not already subscribed. And if you have, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. But don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified for every time that I post a video, especially now that we're doing this book series. Alright, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.